Welcome to the Sufferfest strength training. You need a mat and an empty water bottle for this session. This session will introduce you to most of the foundation exercises we'll use in this program. While you'll no doubt have the leg strength to muscle your way through this routine, the most important thing is doing the moves correctly. As the weeks go by, we'll introduce variations on these exercises which will challenge you in new ways. You'll need perfect form to get those right. Don't start yet. This is just a preview of the upcoming exercise. You'll see these previews between every exercise. Use the time to recover and get into position. You'll start the exercise when you hear the bell. We'll start with a kneeling hip drive with hands overhead. So, get down on your right knee with your left leg forward. Raise your hands overhead so your thumbs are pointing directly behind you. Ready? With chest tall, smoothly drive your hips forward and then back to the start in a short rhythmic motion. This move gently loosens your hips with a slight stretch when all the way forward. Don't start the next exercise yet. Just switch your legs by putting your right leg forward and get ready to work the other side. Get moving. As you drive forward, keep your hips and your shoulders square. Don't lean forward, keep that chest tall. Where are your thumbs? They should be pointed backwards. Switch your legs, keeping your hands raised and chest high. This time, you'll move your hips to the right side rather than forward. Slide your hips to the right with a short rhythmic motion and return to the start and repeat. Don't push past the start to the left. We're just moving to the right at the moment. Switch legs and get ready to slide your hips to the left. When sliding your hips to the left, both your torso and your legs should be moving. Look straight ahead, keeping shoulders and hips square. No twisting while you're moving. Now, lie on your back with your arms at your side and knees at 90 degrees. Next up is the hip bridge with reps. Raise and lower your hips by squeezing and then relaxing your glutes. If your hamstrings are doing most of the work, slide your feet closer to your hands. Keep your feet planted on the ground and your knees steady with no side-to-side movement. Make sure those hips are square. Stand up, grab that water bottle in your right hand and get ready for bent leg tip at the hip. You'll start with your left leg. Balancing on your left leg, put your right hand out and pulse it up and down quickly. The focus here is not how low you get, but improving your single leg balance. Switch the bottle to your left hand and get ready to repeat this move on your right leg. Keep your body as still as possible while your hand is moving. Keep your spine neutral by looking at a spot on the floor several feet in front of you. You should feel your glutes. If your quads are burning, try bending your left leg less and pushing your hips further back. Put the bottle down and prepare for the forward lunge. With your feet hip width apart and your hands on your sides, you'll step forward with your left leg. As you lower your whole body, keep your chest tall with your hips and shoulders square. Using your glutes, drive through your foot to return to the starting position. Keep your toes pointed straight ahead. Switch your legs and prepare to repeat the exercise on the other side. Step forward with your right leg. When you're at the bottom of the lunge, keep your knee behind your toes. Your hips and shoulders should be square. No twisting as you move forward or come back to standing. Stand up and switch legs to start a second set on your left side. While you step forward, keep looking straight ahead. Make sure your foot and knee track straight ahead. Stand up and switch legs to repeat on the right side again. Stepping forward with your right leg, be sure to keep your torso square, no twisting. You should feel this in your glutes and your quads. If your glutes aren't engaged, move your hips further back at the bottom of the lunge. Stand up with your feet hip-width apart. Prepare to step to the left into a lateral lunge with extended hands. With your right foot planted firmly and pointed straight ahead, step to the side with your left leg. Lower your hips until your left knee is at 90 degrees. If your right foot starts to move, don't go so low. Stand up and get ready to step to the right. Keeping your foot planted and pointed straight ahead is critical to good form here. Step to the right and point your hands straight out in front of you, keeping them at shoulder height. If your left foot moves, don't step so far or go so low. It's better to keep perfect form than trying to get as low as you can. Stand up and prepare to go again with your left leg. If you're not feeling this in your glutes, shift your hips further back and make shallower lunges until they kick in. Keep your head up so you don't lean too far forward. Stand up and get ready to repeat on your right side. Keep great form. Feet pointed forward, knees behind toes, shoulders and hips square. Watch that right foot. It should be firm and steady on the ground at all times. Get ready for the hip hinge. You'll balance on your left leg, extend your right behind you, push your hips backward and hinge forward. As you move, reach your hands forward for balance. It can help to imagine you have a rod from your pelvis up to your neck that doesn't allow you to bend your back at all. Rest and prepare to balance on your right leg. Looking at a fixed point on the wall in front of you can improve your balance. To come back to the start, drive your hips forward by squeezing your glutes. As you move, your hips and shoulders should remain square and level. Fight the temptation to let one side drop. Let's do another set. Prepare to balance on your left leg. Make sure all of the movement comes from your hips. If you feel the burn in your lower back, move your hips backwards before you start to hinge forward. Remember, it's better to keep the moves high and with complete control than low and sloppy. Have a rest and we'll finish this exercise off on your right side. During this move, you should have a slight bend in your right leg, but the angle should never change. It's normal to find that you have better balance on one side than the other. This exercise will help with that. Rest and get into position for squats. Stand with your feet slightly wider than your hips. Raise your hands like you're holding a bar. As you squat, keep your feet flat on the ground and your knees stable. Only go as low as you have complete control and maintain a neutral spine. Return to the start by driving through your firmly planted feet. Recover and prepare to repeat the exercise. Focus on pushing into the ground using your glutes, not just your quads. Keep your chest tall and stay in control as you squat down. As you come up, imagine you're driving your hips forward. Your toes and knees can be rotated slightly out as long as you maintain knee alignment. Time to lie down. Get on your stomach and put your elbows in the ground in front of you. Here comes the plank. Lift yourself up so your elbows are directly under your shoulders and you're balanced on your toes. You should have a 90-degree angle at your elbow. Keep your shoulders and hips level, with torso and legs in a straight line. Lift yourself onto all fours. Place your knees hip width and your hands shoulder width apart. Next is the quadruped with arm raise. Engage your core and then slowly extend one arm up and out with your hand down. Alternate lifting hands slowly and in full control. Your torso and head should not move at all during this move. Take a break and prepare to repeat this. Remember to keep the core engaged for the full duration of the exercise. Don't just fling your hands up. Keep the effort deliberate and steady. Keep your core engaged. Check those shoulders and hips. They should not roll over when you lift your arm. Now, lie on your left side, place your feet on top of each other, and put your elbow underneath your shoulder. Next is the side plank. Lift your hips off the ground and point your right hand to the ceiling. It should be a straight line from your left elbow through your shoulders and up to your hand, and you should be looking straight ahead. Flip onto your right side, prop yourself up on your right elbow, and get ready to repeat. There should also be a straight line from toes to head. Hips and shoulders should remain square, and they should be perpendicular to the ground. Your top shoulder should not be in front or behind the bottom one. Don't let those hips sag. Fantastic work! You've completed the session and are one step closer to a stronger you.